Good lunchtime. So I'm gonna try to do this really quickly while I'm on my lunch break. This is Mentally Unstable Makeup. I am your host, Unstable Toni. This one's gonna be a little different than some of my other ones. I am gonna be putting on makeup. As a matter of fact, I just got my Give Me Glow Juicy Olive. I'm super excited to try this out. It is green grungy goodness, which is right up my alley. I also am going to try one of their luminous highlighters. This is in White Noise. I've heard amazing things about their highlighters, so we'll find out together. I'm excited about that. I do want to talk to you for just a minute though. Instead of me describing all of the steps and everything that I'm doing, because I tend to do makeup the same way every time, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about where I'm at emotionally. This is the face of suicidal thoughts. I struggle with that a lot. Now, please don't worry. I will not act on them, but that doesn't mean that I don't have them. Not everybody who is suicidal is always like sad and gloomy and all of that. It can manifest in many different forms. So I may seem like bubbly and all excited, but internally, my anxiety is really high. I'm very sad. I feel very alone, even though I'm in a house full of people. And it's one of those things that I just kind of have to work through those feelings. Now, when I say that I have suicidal ideations, it means that I just get caught up in my head with I can't do this anymore. I wish it would end. And there's even times that like I've gone through and like, this is how I would do it, and my kids would go here. But I know through dealing with this for years that I'm just very anxious, and I'm just dealing with some emotions, and I just need to work through it. So don't worry, I'm not going to act on it or anything, but I feel like it's important to talk about it because for years, I sat in shame, and I would never talk about it. And I feel like a lot of people who deal with that, do hide. And that's because there's such a stigma around it. Like you tell somebody that you deal with anxiety and depression, or even suicidal thoughts, and they freak out. So I just want anybody who is dealing with that to know that you are not alone, and that suicide and depression and anxiety can look very different. I think one of the most impactful ones for me was Robin Williams. He brought so much joy and positivity and love, and laughter, and that's kind of what I try to do, is to lift people up and put them in a happy place and make them smile. But inside we're fighting, inside we're battling. It's hard. It's really hard. I think too, like, and this is so weird because I deal with depression and anxiety, that you would think that something as simple as crying would be a good release and a good way to kind of let that out. I have the hardest time crying. So if you've ever seen a video on here of me crying, that means I'm going through a lot, very intense emotions, because I try to cry. I try to have that release, and for whatever reason, it's like I start to tear up, but it won't come out. I can't have that release. And I know that seems weird, but I don't know. Like I have the hardest time crying. So, anyways, if you are dealing with anything similar or you understand what I'm talking about, comment below. Let me know I'm not alone. Um, if you don't want to comment because you don't feel comfortable with it, I get it. I totally understand. But know that you are not alone, and that lots of us struggle. But, anyways, let's get into the fun part. So, I did get my Beautylish order, and Juno and Co., which is the brand of cloud sponges that I love so much. I love them. I love them. If you haven't got one, you should try it. It's great. But they had this cherry balm face palette, and I was super intrigued by this. So it's really hard to get open. That's my It's hard to get open, but it looks like this. So it's got like a contour, a blush, and then it's got these two highlighters. The more champagne-y highlighter is more of like a wet highlight look, and then the more white one is more of like a glittery, sparkly highlight. But I have been wearing this for the last couple of days now since I got it, and I love this. And I'm actually going to use some of it today, and just kind of do my contour. Now, the contour shade, she dusty. She really dusty. But it's a great shade for my little pale pasty butt. And I just wanted to kind of show you guys and share with you because I'm really enjoying this. The blush, it is very pigmented, and I'll show you in just a minute because I am going to put it on. So you kind of have to go in with a light hand and just be really careful with that. And it does have a little bit of a shimmer to it. So if you don't like shimmery blushes, then you're not gonna like that blush. But the contour color is perfect for me. I enjoy it. The only thing I don't like is this. It's dusty. It's dusty. But it is a great color. And I probably don't contour right. I don't know. But I feel like this helps bring my cheekbones out. So that's where I put it. I am going to use the blush, and I just use a flat brush. And funny story about this one. This is a Morphe, I think. Yeah. It broke when I washed it. Like this whole section came off. And so Jamie fixed it. He screwed a thing. But I mean, it fixed it. It worked. So, but, so I'm just going to dab in it. And like I said, it's super pigmented. So I'm going to dab this on the back of my hand just to try to get any of the excess off and then put it on my cheeks. And I don't know if you can tell, but because my lighting, the sun keeps going down behind clouds and stuff, so my lighting keeps shifting. But this blush is super pigmented, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got like a almost like a shimmer to it. So I put it on, and then I take my beauty sponge and I try to see how that, like residue, no residue. I take the no residue and just kind of help blend it a little bit. Just so it's not so pigmented. So if you get too much, you can kind of smoosh it and take some of that off. I'm also kind of using that to blend in my contour on my forehead a little bit. And then I'm going to wait to put on my highlighter because instead of using one of these, I want to use the one I got in the Give Me Glow. So with this palette, I want to do a really dark green, grungy look. And you can't really, can you see the green? It kind of matches my top. Um, if you notice, I don't have a crown on today. That is gonna kind of be my universal symbol for your girl is struggling. And so if you see me with a video and I don't have a crown on, it's a rough day. Um, so just a heads up. I'm going to go into this palette. I'm loving these. I'm loving these, loving these, loving these. And I think I'm going to start with Dry Martini, which is, let me get the mirror out, which is this one right here. And I'm going to use that like my transition shade. Just because it's one of the lighter ones. And it's dusty, which their mattes usually are. But that doesn't bother me because they're super pigmented. I mean, I have a lot of, even some of my super higher end brands, and I mean, they're dusty too. So I don't know. People who are like, oh no, it's dusty, I don't like it. Like, I don't understand, because there's a lot of brands, whether it's the cheap or the higher end, that are the same way. So just like always, if you notice, I'm dabbing. And then I'm kind of going in with circular motions with a big fluffy blending brush. I do plan to make this pretty smoky. So I'm going to take that same, and I am just going to bring it down into my bottom lash line. If you've seen me do makeup, you know that sometimes I do this with the first color. Sometimes I do it after. I don't know why. Just whatever I'm feeling that day. So I am going to try to find the suicide prevention number, and I'm going to list that below. If you are struggling, please reach out, whether it's to that number, whether it's to friends and family. Do not be embarrassed. You would be shocked. The more I talk about it, the more I am finding that people struggle. Some of the people who look the happiest and like they've got everything together and they've got money and they're going on vacations and they're buying stuff. I mean, you would think that they would be, just super happy in their lives. That's not always the case. The stigma around it is really the worst part. Even my special needs son, he has suicidal ideations, and they manifest kind of similar to mine. It's not like he wants to really kill himself. It's just that he's over it. And it gets to be too much. And I get in this funk where it's like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to see people. I just kind of want to crawl off into a hole and be left alone. I don't know, like, mine manifests very different than what the traditional suicidal thoughts and ideations and stuff go, but that's just how mine is. Okay, so my next brush, just like always, I'm going to get, it's still going to be fluffy. I can't even talk. It's still going to be fluffy, but it's going to be a little bit smaller in size. And I'm having a hard time finding one because I need to wash my brushes, like real bad. Real bad. I need to wash my brushes. I'm just going to grab this one. It's almost not small enough, but I'm going to use it anyways. So I'm going to go into the next darkest color, which is this one right here. Now, these right here are all mattes, and then these two are shimmers. So far, I have loved Give Me Glow's formula. I love their mattes. I love their shimmers. Some of their shimmers are uber special. I mean, like, I can't even get it to really translate on camera just how special they are. If you haven't tried Give Me Glow, you should. Like, I'm loving them. They blend like a dream. I mean, it's gorgeous. So I highly recommend them. And if you notice, I'm kind of bouncing around in my conversation, and that's because I'm really nervous about talking about this. Um, it's really hard. It's hard. It's hard to talk about. I don't want people to judge me. I don't want to get negative comments. Um, I don't want to bring anybody down. And I feel guilty. And that's another one. I am going to talk about that. Okay. So, because of my anxiety and depression and the trauma that I have dealt with in my childhood, I don't feel worthy or deserving of anybody's love and affection. So the fact that I even have 100 subscribers at this point blows my mind. The fact that people in the makeup group that I'm in like me and they enjoy the We Come Together Wednesday posts that I do, and they like my makeup, it really blows my mind. I feel like I'm not deserving of it. I'm going to take that same shade and I'm just going to go across my waterline or my lower lash line too. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's more of due to my early childhood trauma than anything, just because I got abandoned quite a bit growing up. Basically, anybody that I really cared about or looked up to ended up abandoning me. And so you kind of get to this point where you feel like you're not good enough for anybody, and you get defensive, and so you build up this almost like a poor coping mechanism of not letting anybody close, because in your mind they're gonna leave you anyways. So that's been a really hard one for me to work through, is trying to know my self-worth. That's hard. That is so hard. And it kills me because people are like, oh, but that was years ago. You should get over that. You've had people in your life who care about you this long, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why I can't just get over it. I don't know why I can't just let those feelings just go. It doesn't make any sense to me either. So I'm going to go into this super dark. This looks black, but it's like a dark green. And I'm going to put that all over the top of my lid. And I'm just using it's still fluffy, but it's kind of flatter. And that's just so that I can control it to keep it to where it doesn't go like all up into my crease, which I will kind of blend it up in there anyways. But I want to concentrate this more on my lid and then blend up with less product. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, self-worth. Okay. So when you deal with depression and anxiety, I hate how people don't understand it, because they're just like, get over it. It doesn't work that way. I don't know why, but it doesn't work that way. Even to this day, there are certain smells, certain songs, that if I hear it or if I smell it, I immediately go back to right in a trauma that I had associated with that. It's crazy how that works. Okay, so I'm going to take the same. I didn't add any more product, and I'm just going to try to blend it up into my crease a little bit. Trying to be gentle because I don't want to wipe away that color, but I just want to blend it a little bit into my crease. If you notice, I'm taking this and kind of going like this in with my crease, where my actually crease is, and that's just so that I can keep it the shape that I want it. Then I'm going to do the same with this side. So anyways, I don't know, with everything that's going on and quarantine and people having to isolate and kind of be by themselves, I just kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel like people shy away from talking about it quite a bit. They're ashamed, whatever reason they don't. But it's real. And with this quarantine stuff, it's kind of made it even harder. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with that second shade, this one. And I'm just going to lightly kind of go into my crease just a little bit above it. And that just to try to help blend those two colors. And this brush is almost too fat for this. You almost need a fluffy brush that is about the same shape, size as your crease. If you get too big, it can take over and spread it further out than what you really want it to be. But we're going with it anyways. And if you notice, I accidentally wiped off some of that from my lid. So I'm just going to take that same brush. I'm going to go back into it and just put it back on there. And that's because I was rubbing really hard with that other brush. Okay, I'm also going to take the same exact brush. I'm not going to add any more. I'm going to use what's already on it. And I'm just going to pull this down into, and I'm going to try to keep this as tight up to my waterline as I possibly can, just because I want the shade down there, but I don't want to look like I have a black eye. So I'm just trying to keep it tight up against my waterline, but also place it down there. And again, I didn't use any more product. I just used what was left on it from where I was dabbing it on my lid. See? And I have like some funky going on right here in the corner. What is that? So I'm going to take the very first brush and go back into that very first shade. And I'm just going to kind of go around my entire eye with that, just to try to help with the blend. Also bring that color back out, just kind of intensify that color. Now I am going to show you a trick after I do it, because it does get the darker color. Wipe it off on your little color change thing and go back into that shade. That will help. If you got any of that super dark color on it, it will help to not just make everything black. Or dark olive, whatever. I'm trying to get whatever's going on in that little corner. What is happening? I think my brush just didn't get up in there. I am having a hard time getting this color to stick to my lid though. Keeps wanting to come off. Still very, 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 very pretty though. Dark and grungy, and I'm here for it. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe that brush off again, and I'm just gonna add and add and add until I'm happy with the blend and with the way that it looks. And I don't like what's going on right in here. I think it's from where my brush was too big, but I just take the point of my beauty blender and I'm just basically wiping it off. Just because I wasn't real happy with how that was going. So if you notice, I didn't use any of the shimmers, which kind of makes me sad, but I am going to take a small kind of fluffy brush, if I can find it. I need to wash brushes so bad. That one's too big. Oh, mylanta. That one will work. So just a small, I'm going to dip into, I don't know. Let me swatch these. Hang on. Oh, see, that's way darker than I wanted. There we go. Okay, so this one is garnish, and this one is shaken and not stirred. And I'm super glad that I swatched this because this is way darker on the skin than it is in this pan. See it in the pan? See it on my skin? And that is too dark for the pop that I want in my inner corner. So I'm glad I touched that. So I'm just going to swirl around that little tiny brush into garnish. And I'm just going to pop that on my inner corner as like an inner corner highlight. Ooh. That is so pretty. Yeah. I would have been very disappointed if I'd have used the darker of the two, because that's not the look I wanted to go with at all. Love it! So I know this is looking a little cray-cray right now, but I promise once I do eyeliner, mascara, and all that, it'll come together. Don't be afraid if your looks are kind of getting scary looking, because it will come together. Okay, so for my waterline, I want to stick to this dark, smoky, olivey thing that I've got going on. Why is this? This is bothering me. I'll fix it later. It's not blended very well. You see that? See how this gradiates up? See how it's super dark right there? I don't like that. I got the dark too high up. But it's okay. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. So I want a dark olivey green. Let me see how this looks. See, and that's almost teal. It's almost blue. I don't want a blue. I want a dark green. If I can't find a super dark green, I may even go in with a brown, like a dark brown. I'm looking through my bazillion. Let me see what color this is. Too light. Can you believe I don't have like an olivey? There's a gold. Too bright. I may have to go in with that one that's kind of teal just because I don't have another dark one. If I don't go into that one, which looks like that, which I think is going to be too blue for this, I'm going to have to use brown. Dark brown. And then I will look online and try to find me an olivey green. If you have a brand that has an olivey green, comment below, let me know. Because with having this palette, and I'm loving it, I'm obviously going to need an olivey green eyeliner. And this is just a ColourPop gel liner. I love these. It's called Call Me. And it's just a really rich, dark brown. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and try this highlighter just because I'm excited. I'm going to use just a regular highlighter brush that I mean, that's the kind of brush that I use. I am going to make sure that I wipe it off, though. Make sure there ain't nothing on it. So I'm just going to dip in, and this is in White Noise. Swirly, 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 swirly. We're gonna see. Ooh! Okay, maybe I didn't need the swirly swirly. Ooh! Girl! Oh! Okay. Okay. This might be my new favorite highlighter. Holy crap. Wow. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to take this same on just a little flat brush and I'm going to pop it up here in my brow line. Oh. Okay, this highlighter is nice. Oh. I love it. Okay, I love that so much. We're gonna dab that on my inner corner because let's see if it'll brighten it up. Ooh. It is not translating on camera like it is in person. It did not take the green, yellowy gold away from what I had already put on. It just really brought it out and brightened it up. Oh, I love it. Okay. I mean, that's a good highlighter. New favorite, new favorite. Okay, so I'm going to pause you here, and I'm going to put on my lip, and I'm going to fix whatever the heck's going on right here, and some mascara, and I'll be right back. So hang on a minute. I'm back. Be glad I did that off camera. I don't know what's going on, but I had some lip lining. I about came back with no lipstick. Okay, is the whole thing. Okay, so this is with mascara and eyeliner, and then the lip is actually a mix of I put on Willow from Black Moon, and then on top of that I put Emperor, which is like a goldy glittery shade. But when you mix the two, you get this cool like burgundy green, I don't know how to describe it, color, but but that's what I went with. So here's the final look. I will say that after doing everything else and completing, I did notice a little bit of fallout of that darker color, but I was able to just take a brush and just kind of wipe that away. So it wasn't a big deal. I think I just needed to tap off my brushes a little bit better. But all in all, I'm super happy with the look. It's gorgeous, and I can't wait to do more looks with it. This is definitely my good eye. This eye's Struggle House City. But thank you for watching, and I hope that it helped somebody. I know it helped me. These videos help me a lot. So if you enjoy this, subscribe, share to your buddies, whatever. In all honesty, I'm just trying to get free makeup because this stuff gets expensive. But love yourselves, love each other, and again, if you are struggling, reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody. You might be surprised. But love you guys. Bye.